So then let's take a closer look at the Asgard Jacket. It's one of our Ventile and Down outwear collection, not aimed at high altitude mountaineering where they just want the lightest gear, so they use nylons, very lightweight ripstop nylons and materials like that, modern technical fabrics. But the Ventile and Down outwear collection is designed around more classic looks, and Ventile particularly. Ventile was superbly accounted for in the Second World War, of course, and then picked up by mountaineers in the 50s, both for mountaineering, high altitude mountaineering, but particularly polar expeditions really liked Ventile because it's tough, it's very breathable, it doesn't have any laminate layers for waterproofing, it's a weatherproof cotton fabric. The one we use here for our Ventile products is L24. L24's it's not the lightest, but it's very, very robust. It's pretty light. There's a lot heavier grades as well, but it's pretty light, but it's very robust. So for polar expeditions, it's hard wearing. Breathable, of course, windproof. That's why Ventile is so popular. But also it's a comfortable cotton. It's quieter than the nylons. And of course you can have a jacket that's styled, that's not styled, as it were, in modern day nylon technical mountaineering gear. It's got a quite distinct style. So this is the Asgard jacket. It's got a very classic looking design, and you can see straight away the fastenings on it are buttons. Now in the early polar exploration days, the whole basis of that sector was driven by nautical people. It was driven by the people that were able to travel to Antarctica or travel up into the Arctic Circle by boat. So the design influences of clothing were nautical, and buttons were very much the thing for a fastening. Before zips, of course, you had to have quite good closing systems. And buttons and toggles and things were the norm. Buttons is not used nowadays very often by modern day mountaineers and mountaineering clothing people because we use studs and Velcro and so on. But buttons are still they're very good. They're a very practical system of closing down a garment. They don't fail. In bad weather and so on, they don't fail. They don't freeze up. They don't get problems with them. They're very reliable. This jacket has a double baffle. So if I just undo these buttons here, you can see we've got two insulated layers over the top of the zip. Okay, so we've got a full length zip first, and then the wind is kept out. It's kept warm by two over baffles, insulated, and then closed down by buttons. We've got buttons on the cuffs as well, and buttons on these pockets at the bottom. I've run through the design features. It's a long jacket, it's an expedition grade jacket. Of course this is rated at -30, so for some of the coldest places in the world, and certainly coldest cities on the world, this is a very, very warm piece of equipment. It's rated at -30, as I say, so it's not something you would use in mild cold. It is for proper full-on cold weather. Just looking at the down, it's 900 fill power down. It's a very high quality down. It's goose down, and it's pure goose. There's no duck in it. It's a pure goose down. Very, very high quality. And that's natural down. It's not chemically enhanced to change its performance. It's a pure, high quality, natural down. The outer is L24 Ventile, and I'll just go through the features for you. Very long expedition grade of styling here, comes well down onto the top of the legs. It's got a very warm, insulated, down-filled collar, and it's fleece lined to really shut down and keep the cold weather out. The bottom there can be cinched in with cord locks to cinch it in to stop any cold getting in, and the cuffs are adjusted on these buttons. It's also got a detachable hood. That's studded onto the back of the jacket, so it can be removed if you don't want it. and that's a down-filled hood. It's expedition grade. It's very, very warm. It can be, the hood can be cinched down with cord locks to bring it in right around your face to get very, very warm, and it's got a volume reducer in the back. It's a very, very warm hood, and so in bad weather or cold conditions, if you're waiting or something and stood around in real nasty cold, the hood is brilliant. Just onto the pockets, we've got 2 waist level pockets. These are hand warmer pockets, so they're insulated with fleece on the inside. So on the back side of it, it's got down, and on the outside of it, it's got fleece. Really nice, warm, really, really nice. So if your hands have got cold, that's a great place to get those hands warmed up again. We've got 2 pockets on the chest as well. These are more modern day actually in design. These pockets are really for stashing equipment, for stashing gear. So you can stash mitts in there, you can stash snacks and food and stuff like that in there. But they're also good for a smartphone or GPS or something like that. Very accessible. That's the point of these jackets. If you were wearing an expedition, polar guy might have a harness on, or if you had a hip belt, a waist belt on a rucksack covering these lower pockets, these are the pockets that are always available, and very handy because whatever you're doing, they're quickly accessible to get something like a map or a guidebook or a phone or something like that. And then on the waist there, we've got a waist cord just to cinch it in. It just brings the jacket in a little bit more closer to you, prevents any cold air spaces inside the garment, so it just cinches in and it just brings it closer to you and makes it fit better. Okay, so that's a closer look at the Ventile and Down Asgard. Okay, cheers.